Back inside PNC Arena, meeting number 70 between these two teams. We'll take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders. Cam Ward coming off a 25-save performance last night. His first shutout of this season, his 22nd lifetime. And Jonathan Quick for the LA Kings had 30 saves in a 5-2 loss at Detroit on Friday night. A situation the Carolina Hurricanes have not been accustomed to this season, playing with the lead. They did last night for almost a full 60 in the first 8 games combined, only the 12:47 at New York on October the 16th. We'll see what they do with this challenge here tonight against the defending Stanley Cup champions. Sit back and enjoy this one. Tripp Tracy is located between the benches. It's knocked down by Carolina's Eric Staal. Justin Falk with a shot, blocked on the way through by LA's Jake Muzzin. Paired on defense with Drew Doughty. They're getting healthier, are the Kings. Andrei Kopitar and Marian Gaborik return tonight from injury. Gaborik has missed 8 games. Kopitar the last 3. Drew Doughty in control on the wall. Tyler Toffoli. That 70s line cranks it up. Jeff Carter moving up on Falk, right in. Wide of Cam Ward. It careens all the way back out to the blue line, fielded by Eric Staal. Falk, the backhand side of Jiri Tlusty. He'll go off on a line change and get it deep.
Falk has changed his headgear from that full cage last night, John. 2 good pitches early from Falk and then Sekera.
Nathan Gerby joined on the line here with Riley Nash. And Elias Lindholm, who had 2 goals last night. Through the center ice area, it's choked off by Lindholm. He'll bounce it, cross corner, wide of Quick. A good look from ice level. Alec Martinez taken out by Riley Nash, but it went off Jarrett Stoll. Fed along by Brett Belmore, who played well last night. Lindholm to the outside. Gerby's shot blocked by Jarrett Stoll. Getting to it is Dwight King. Deep in the Carolina zone, a handoff for Alec Martinez, who had the game-winning overtime goals in the Western Conference Final and the Stanley Cup Final, and he gets it all the way back. Now it's played here by Ron Hainsey away from Justin Williams. Patrick Dwyer, Jay McClement, Brad Malone come out for Bill Peters. Marian Gaborik can't handle it. Top of your screen. It's Kopitar, Gaborik, and Williams. And here they come out to center ice. Marian Gaborik. Andrei Kopitar. He'll cut. Matt Green with a shot. Stopped by Cam Ward. High in the air. Gloved down by Jay McClement. Marian Gaborik now in a cycle. Williams with a shot. Snared by Ward. No further play. Let's take a look at tonight's Rex Express Care injuries and scratches. Rex Healthcare chosen for excellence.
Now Carolina employs the same lineup that got them the first victory of their season last night. And Green doing the right thing of joining the rush. Boy, Marian Gaborik can still move, can he? Both players back in the lineup factoring in. Gaborik and Kopitar, and Green, formerly of North Dakota, with the chance.
Daryl Sutter keeps that line out, Kopitar's group. Carolina gets Eric Staal, Jeff Skinner, and Jiri Tlusty back on the ice. Eric Staal gets to it. In control, shielded a bit by Kopitar. Jeff Skinner holding onto it. Tripp will visit with Jordan Staal during the first intermission here tonight, as Justin Williams now controls it back out to center. It deflects off the boards. It comes all the way back in the Carolina zone. Justin Falk. Away now for Andrei Sekera. Sekera led Carolina in terms of ice time. Just under 23 minutes last night. Stahl's shot blocked by Drew Doughty. Doughty lets his partner handle it, Jake Muzzin, and out they come. Trevor Lewis returned Friday night in Detroit from injury. Muzzin a handoff. Mike Richards. His shot blocked by Sekera. Centered by Muzzin, nobody home. Trevor Lewis in control to the outside. Justin Falk ahead of Kyle Clifford. Out of the corner now, Lewis taken care of by Eric Staal. Good paddle there by Cam Ward, who was very active with his goal stick last night as the Hurricanes escape harm and get it out. Hinging now in the zone, Drew Doughty. Doughty moves up. His pass detected. Second chance. Pinballs off Clifford and goes wide. Doughty lays it heavy in the corner. Sekera pinned a bit by Trevor Lewis. They continue to jam Victor Rask. Carolina's rookie tries to get it from his own zone, and they start over.
LA only 1 goal from their defense so far this year. John, it came from Martinez the other night. They are really making a point. First Green, then Muzzin, now Doughty have already jumped in offensively.
Bill Peters fresh off his first win as an NHL head coach.
And I'm really looking forward to watching him here between the benches, especially during commercial timeouts, of how he tries to get the favorable matching with that last change on home ice against Daryl Sutter. Boy, what a job he's done en route to 2 Stanley Cups.
One all the way back for Martinez. His shot batted down by Cam Ward. Zach Boychuk Checked on the way through by Jeff Carter. Carolina hemmed in a bit here, but they survive. They get it out. It comes all the way back in the Los Angeles zone. This will be icing with 16:23 left to go in period one.
Drew Doughty has not necessarily had his A game. A lot of people think he can win a Norris Trophy. He does everything. Watch his stick position on Eric Stahl here. That's a good player. Then he jumps into the rush. His Team Canada captain en route to a gold medal. Sidney Crosby told me he can do it all, but the best things he does is stepping up to make a hit or intercept a pass.
The Kings have the first 3 shots so far tonight. Along the wall now, broken up. Carried out to center ice by Carolina's Victor Rask. The lead pass, actually a dump in. Carolina wants a change. They get it. Matt Green, the veteran. Paired on defense with Braden McNabb. Now Jeff Carter. Off the boards, he'll get it deep. Cam Ward awaits in the trapezoid. He'll move it. Nathan Gerbe got a stick to it. It deflects all the way back in the Kings zone. McNabb, who they acquired at the deadline last year from Buffalo, will wheel it ahead. Ron Hainsey, as you see, has plenty of time in his own end. Just over 4 minutes gone and the scoreless first, broken up by Dustin Brown. The King captain goes to work. Brown inside for Dwight King. He's checked by Riley Nash. In support, Jarrett Stoll. King stays with it. Stoll again. Drop pass. Deflects off Nathan Gerbe, and Drew Doughty is back to fetch.
You can tell down here at ice level, John, that the Kings are dialed in today. The Canes are going to get a true test. They've lost all games on the road. A couple healthy bodies back. They're ready to play.
Yeah, they have only 1 point in their last 3. The first game of the trip, an overtime loss at Philadelphia, then a loss at Pittsburgh, a loss at Detroit. Now this. They end in Dallas Tuesday. Dustin Brown turns to the outside as they grind a cycle. He drops it off. Dwight King in control. King out of the corner, pestered a bit at the defense. Back checker Jay McClement. Harrison takes his man down. Carolina will be penalized as Dustin Brown went down underneath Jay Harrison, and the Kings go a man up.
Francis Charron makes the call. Watch the right side of your screen.
Carolina number 44, 2 minutes for tripping.
Ooh, baby. I'm not so sure about that. I think Harrison would argue he had good position, tried to make sure to avoid a holding call, if anything. I didn't see any type of a tripping motion, and yeah, I don't like that call.
LA's power play in the last 5 games, 3 for 15. Carolina's kill, 18 out of 20 in the same time period. The Kings number 23 on the power play. Carolina number 14 on the kill in this young season. Now Tanner Pearson to the point. Kopitar. One-timer. Doughty snared by Cam Ward. PNC Arena has a beautiful new lighting system. They went through a complete overhaul. Musco Lighting installed its state-of-the-art system using LED technology developed and manufactured by Durham One, NC-based Cree Incorporated. The installation made PNC Arena the first venue of its kind with this type of lighting. Drew Doughty with a shot glancing off the outside of the goal. Anze Kopitar winds it along. Now it's played by Justin Falk. He'll play it along the boards and again all the way back in the King zone.
Jeff Carter wins the faceoff on his strong side. Then Riley Nash gets a chance on the other side, his strong side. He wins it.
Doughty through the center zone. They attack. Tanner Pearson gets after it. Patrick Dwyer back for the Hurricanes. He'll drop it off to Belmore. Brett Belmore gets it by Tyler Toffoli, and again back in Kings territory. Just about 6 minutes gone in period 1. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. We're back at you Tuesday night from Columbus. The Kings gain entry. Mike Richards with the play read beautifully by Patrick Dwyer, and out she goes.
And remember, in the nice sit-down with you and Bill Peters at the end of our pregame show, Bill thought that the penalty killing made some big adjustments and was at its best in the third last night.
Now Justin Williams plays it to himself, takes a shoulder from Brad Malone. See the time left in the power play. Lots of time to carry that puck out to center ice. Nathan Gerbe on the attack, shorthanded. His shot blocked by Jake Muzzin. Rebound chance stopped by Jonathan Quick. Now Sekera. Gerbe with a chance. Quick comes sliding out. What a stop by Jonathan Quick. He didn't know where the puck was, but it was underneath number 32. And the Canes come knocking.
Gerbe and Quick trained together in the summer with Ben Prentice, a trainer in Connecticut. I talked to Nathan about it today. He said you're not going to find a more athletic goalie. They don't just train off the ice, they work on the ice, so they both know each other's tendencies. Quick gave up 4 goals in the first period in Detroit Friday, wants to have a better start, and you're not going to have a better save to set the tone than that one.
Out of Hamden, Connecticut, Jonathan Quick has ascended to be and has to be considered arguably the best there is right now. Martinez coming all the way back. Alec Martinez will wind it up. Final push in terms of this LA power play. It's broken up by Brett Belmore. Comes all the way back. Martinez in control. 9 seconds left in the manpower advantage. He'll lug it out. Alec Martinez on the wall. Jarrett Stoll. Stoll moving up. Shielded a bit by Tim Gleason. Belmore takes a hit from Dustin Brown. Stoll had it, lost it. Fending it off here, Tim Gleason, and away they go. Harrison's out of the box. Here's Talusti with 6 goals, moving up for a shot. Stopped and covered by Jonathan Quick. Chantel McCabe has a nice story about a post-game tradition that started last night here in Raleigh. Stick around.
We're back, and there's Cam Ward, who's coming off of a shutout. Last night, he was given the fireman helmet by Coach Peters as a reward, and Peters said, "To me, the firemen are heroes. They save lives and are people that you need. I have a lot of respect for them, and I have friends that are firemen. When you give a guy a reward, as a player of the game for me, this is the reason why we won," and that's our Geico quote. John?
Thank you, Chantel. Many teams do things that are similar, but the message behind it from Bill Peters is outstanding. Drew Doughty, he expounded on that during Hurricanes Live tonight. It's carried here by Dwight King. 12:34 left in period 1. Carolina being outshot 4-3 with 2 excellent chances while shorthanded. Robin Regeer, a lead pass for Dwight King. His shot stopped by Cam Ward. He spat out a rebound. Good play by Jay Harrison, and away go the Hurricanes. Doughty comes up aggressively on Jeff Skinner, and he turns it over. Now comes all the way around for Stahl. Blind pass regained by Skinner. Inside for Lindholm. Elias Lindholm out of the corner. Eric Stahls, they grind a cycle. Dropping it off for Lindholm. Out in front for Skinner. Off quick. Loose out in front. And Dwight King now will play it along the boards and get it outside the blue line for now. But as we see, the Hurricanes get possession. Tim Gleason between the wickets of Eric Stahl comes all the way back. This is icing against Carolina. And let's go down to my partner, Trip Tracy, who tonight is situated nicely between the benches.
I was going to talk about Bill Peters, but now Richards, after Doughty stepping up on Skinner, Richards jumps in, and Skinner's engaged in this game. But for Bill Peters, they watched him during the first commercial timeout, John, and it was all about teaching. Grab Riley Nash. Some coaches will just stare at the other bench because they've got that last change for the entire timeout. He did a little bit of both, teaching, and then he watched what Darryl Sutter would do.
Los Angeles Kings are 6-3-2, 0-2-2 on the road. Carolina at 1-6-2, picking up their first victory of the season here last night. Braden McNabb, Matt Green. They reorganize. Green coming all the way back. The Hurricanes have the line of Victor Rask, Chris Terry, and Zach Boychuk on the ice. Mike Richards. Lead pass for Kyle Clifford. Belmore defends for Carolina. Clifford to the outside. Good sweep check by Belmore. And away is Zach Boychuk. He'll thread it all the way back deep. Quick is there to play it. No icing now. Matt Green. Headmans nicely for Jeff Carter. Can he split the D? He's a great skater, but they get back on it. A combination of Ron Hainsey and Brett Belmore. Belmore in control. Quick up for Boychuk. Out to neutral ice, it's Chris Terry approaching Drew Doughty. He'll go off on a line change and roll it in.
You and I talked to Bill Peters this morning about defensemen when they can, making a tape-to-tape pass. Belmore not necessarily known for it. He made it there.
Jake Muzzin, injured at the start of this season. A steal! Good save by Cam Ward. Off the stick of Tanner Pearson, who's been red hot. Now play along the wall by Tyler Toffoli. Broken up here by Brad Malone. And again through center, and you see it come all the way back. Jonathan Quick leaves it for Drew Doughty. Off the boards for Muzzin. On the wall to Foley. And out they come 2-on-2. Jeff Carter, Tanner Pearson. Pearson. Getting a stick to it was Justin Falk inside for Carter. Carter holding onto it. And the pass deflects by Doughty. And again out to the center zone.
Falk's stick has been so much better. I think the second half of the game in Edmonton, then Vancouver, especially last night. And there, that puck was about 2 or 3 inches off the ice.
Falk just under 23 minutes last night. A +1. Couple of assists, the injury, playing through it, and one of his best games of the season. Now it's cleared back out to center. Off the stick of Gerby. Chugging back the veteran Robin Regeer. Forcing him, Elias Lindholm. Regeer lays the body on Lindholm. Now Harrison with a screen shot off Gerby. It goes astray. Eric Stahl in control, top of your screen, checked by Alec Martinez. Eric now stays with it. Stahl tries to make it happen for Lindholm. He's crunched by Regier. Getting to it is Justin Williams. And Williams now thinks twice, retreats, and starts the breakout. Alec Martinez away from Marian Gaborik. Through the middle of the ice, detected by Carolina's Elias Lindholm, and they swing it back. Kings get possession. Andrzej Kopitar this way for Justin Williams. But the Canes are positioned well in neutral ice. Just about 11 minutes gone in the first period. We are still goalless here at PNC Arena. Braden McNabb. Indirect pass for Dwight King, picked off by Belmore, right back in the King zone. Out to center ice. LA transitions. Here's Dustin Brown. Brown goes deep, intended for King. Jared Stoll right on it to the point. McNabb, he'll dust it off. Braden McNabb behind Cam Ward. Dustin Brown circles, holds onto it. Here's McNabb to the outside of Toulouse. Inside for Stoll. He's checked by Victor Rask as they jam along the boards. Belmore tries to clear, held in by LA's McNabb. Gloved down in the corner by Jared Stoll, left there. Belmore gives him a problem. Now it's loose in back of the goal. Out of that four-man scrum, it kicks out to Matt Green. He'll go deep. Out of the reach of Stoll now, Dwight King. King as they maintain possession, and this is really their bread and butter. Dwight King holding onto it out in front. Unattainable pass intended for Jared Stoll, and the Canes get it out.
And smart play from Skinner. Try to avoid icing where you have to stay on the ice. LA pitching their defense.
They play it loosely, and Matt Green has lost his stick. You see it from the corner. Jay McClement goes to work. Right out in front, McClement winds it off Mike Richards. In very good defensive position. The Kings now will ice the puck in this scenario and will swing it back. Fans, if the Canes win tonight, kids wearing Canes gear eat free tomorrow at participating Golden Corral restaurants. Help yourself to happiness.
There are going to be times with the recent forecheck involving the pinching defense that Carolina is not going to be able to make a tape-to-tape pass, but when you can, you have to. And Belmore did. Right to Boychuk. Support, you're out of the zone. Yeah, Green went to make a pass, and his stick just absolutely failed him there, John.
Face off one back for Justin Falk. Fanning on it, Nathan Gerby, gained by Braden McNabb. McNabb to the outside of Lindholm. Riley Nash takes over. Nash holding onto it, checked by Mike Richards. Now they jam along the boards. Richards stays with it. Nash digs it out. Gets a little support from Lindholm. Now Gerby diagonally across for Sekera. He'll dance at the point. Good play by Trevor Lewis. He'll punch it all the way back in Canes ice. Justin Falk on the tape of Riley Nash. Now Falk out to center ice away from Kyle Clifford in the zone. It goes past Jonathan Quick. Nathan Gerby wide of the target. Now it's played here by Zach Boychuk. He'll turn, walk in, caught! A great stop by Jonathan Quick. Zach Boychuk tries to go top shelf, and Jonathan Quick had none of that. 7 minutes left to go in the first period. We'll take another look at it. We are scoreless and
14 minutes in, no score here in Raleigh. Nathan, you and Jonathan Quick trained in the offseason. You had a great chance. What can you tell us about beating this guy?
He's a good goalie, so quick shots and very acrobatic. He gets these saves. He's moving everywhere, so you got to be patient.
He's as good as there is in the world. Good luck, Nathan.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thank you, Tripp. And you know, from your angle tonight as we see Jonathan Quick, you're going to see in a great way his side-to-side movement, right? That might be one of his, and he's got many great attributes.
And you see room up top like Boychuk saw. I had a perfect vantage point, but then that glove comes out of nowhere, right? Yeah. As Nathan said, no pun intended, he truly is quick.
Puck is cleared all the way back. The 70s line is out there. They have combined for 33 scoring points and a plus 32 rating in the last 8 games. Drew Doughty across the line, but they do so offside.
So John, I'm looking right at this, and all of a sudden you see room like Zach Boychuk did on the glove side high. You know, he's not a big guy. Look at how low his crouch is. But then that puck was labeled. But still, he's able to snare it. And that's just, I think, the reflexes that he has that put him at the Everest portion of the mountain when it comes to NHL goalies.
College product, played at the University of Massachusetts. He was a third-round pick, and he really worked his way up. He started in the ECHL, the American Hockey League, and finally matriculated to this level as it's dumped in on Quick. To the corner. Played along now for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm stopping and starting on Robin Regier. He'll circle, hold on to it. Good move by Lindholm, shut down by Quick. He creates his own scoring chance beautifully.
If you play the game hard, you stop and you start, especially against a defenseman not as quick as you as Regeer. Regeer wants to be physical. When you're that quick, by stopping and starting, he has no chance. Twice. Then go to the front of the net. Oh, boy, that's great to see from Lindholm. The game of hockey is all stopping and starting.
Shots even, as is the score. Hurricanes now getting more chances on Jonathan Quick at 5-on-5. Regeer now will move it along. Williams forced. Stahl goes off the stick of Quick and goes on a play. A nice pinch by Ron Hainsey. Eric Stahl on the doorstep.
Boy, and we'll talk to his brother Jordan, the first time since his very, very unfortunate injury during the first intermission. John, looking forward to that. I'm sure Jordan is delighted with the way the Hurricanes have started this game. They picked up right where they left off last night.
And that was a great scoring chance by his brother here, set up by Hainsey. Now Doughty. Justin Williams through center ice. On the attack, it's Anze Kopitar. Getting back Ron Hainsey. Kopitar throws on the brakes. Will attempt to lay it back to Doughty. Chopped out of the zone that time by Jiri Tlusty. Tlusty in control at the line. Skinner. Skinner with a shot. Swallowed by Quick. 5:42 left to go in period one. Hurricanes mounting their chances on Jonathan Quick. Well, we're still looking for our first goal tonight here in Raleigh, but Tripp, these two, as Canes fans know, have a wonderful relationship.
And as I said in the pregame show, Rod said he was the best line mate that he ever played with. Their chemistry was magical. Justin said to me yesterday when he got to town, he said, I'm going to shoot a puck at Rod and see if he still has hand-eye coordination. Rod said, I'm going to catch it and throw it back at him. They were terrific together. They really were.
5:40 left to go in period one, and Justin Williams will join Tripp live at the conclusion of period one. Through the center ice area, now and all the way back, Matt Green. Pass intended, but behind Dustin Brown, and Carolina now with a chance to reorganize. Tim Gleason hinges off for Victor Rask. Center zone and in, Matt Green cuts it off to the Kings and back out. Tim Gleason in control. 5 hits again in last night's game against Arizona. He had 5 against Vancouver on Tuesday. Out of the corner. Moving up now is Rask. Harrison tipped wide by Chris Terry. Top of your screen, Zach Boychuk. Taking a hit from Matt Green. Braden McNabb takes over, sets up Jared Stoll, and the Kings now will sort it out. Dustin Brown on the wall, forced by Harrison. Back out to neutral ice. At the line, Dwight King in on Cam Ward, and he'll put it on a tee for Tim Gleason.
I think Carolina really used that early kill. That was a good-looking penalty kill to build momentum. Special teams, can be so important in generating momentum.
Now it's carried by Elias Lindholm. Lead pass intended that time for Jay McClement along the boards. They tie it up with 4:29 left to go in period one. Out of the 4-man scrum, you see it from ice level. Martinez jamming with his man. It's Patrick Dwyer. McClement also there for Carolina. McClement now in control inside for Dwyer. Dwyer on Martinez holding onto it. He'll get to the outside. Patrick Dwyer grinding right out in front, covered up alertly by Jonathan Quick.
So, John, as we went to our last commercial break, Eric Stahl had that great chance that you mentioned on Jonathan Quick. He came back to the bench. Nathan Gervey is sitting here, and he says, boy, he goes down early, doesn't he? And then Hudobin and Eric talked about it, that you had that lane based on his stick position to pull that puck to the front of the net. And they're right. If you look at the replay, that stick was really, making that ability to carry it, make a move to the backhand available.
Eric Stahl, Tlusty, and Skinner come out for Bill Peters. Justin Folk stopped and covered again by Jonathan Quick, who has that ability to slow it down at the right time.
Yeah, I think he feels Carolina coming on. Eric Stahl wins the draw cleanly, and Jeff Carter. And the Canes have been pressing. Slow it down.
Off the draw now, Muzzin. Played along, intended for Tanner Pearson. It deflects this way. Fished in the zone by Jeff Carter. Pearson for Carter. Off Sekera, goes wide, and now Falk out of the corner. Played along now for Eric Stahl. Stahl in the skates of Andrej Sekera, who plays it well. Eric goes to work on Muzzin. His shot blocked by Muzzin. Tlusty jumps on it. Jiri Tlusty trading places with Jeff Skinner. It kicks out to center ice. Tyler Toffoli shies away from Sekera, but he gets it deep. You see it up close. Pearson grinding on Falk. Played in back of the goal. Justin Falk, it goes by him. He'll get to it deep in his own zone, and Carolina will start again. Carried out here by Riley Nash. Shifting gears right out in front. And Quick got a piece of it. Loose now. Back of the goal. Drew Doughty lays it off for Marion Gabrick, and the Kings survive. It rolls in slowly on Cam Ward. He'll scoop it up with 3:06 left to go in period 1.
Seems like every night we see a new wrinkle in Riley Nash's game. Here, changing gears on one of the game's elite defensemen. Watch him just change gears, and he had some room. Protects the puck, tries to get to the forehand. Doughty recovers just enough. That's a good little rush by Riley Nash.
Who had an assist last night. See his numbers on the season. Anze Kopitar, Justin Williams, Marion Gabrick for the LA Kings. Carolina will match that with their combination as that shot is taken by Justin Williams and handled beautifully by Cam Ward.
We talked about Quick and Gerby, Justin Williams and Cam Ward, Stanley Cup winning teammates. Good forehand win from Kopitar. And so Justin maybe knows Cam's tendencies. I mean, it's been a long time, but Cam remembers reading Williams' stick. That was a heck of a save.
Jay McClement facing off against Anze Kopitar. Off the draw, Matt Green with a shot through bodies wide. It went off Hainsey. Anze Kopitar out of the corner, holding onto it. Kopitar, as they grind a cycle, moves it ahead. Gabrick is checked on the play by Ron Hainsey. Justin Williams at his side. Kopitar shielding that puck away from Brett Belmore. Now Braden McNabb goes deep for Williams. Williams stopping and starting. Stripped of the puck, though, by Jay McClement. Out of the corner, Belmore battling Kopitar. Justin Williams for the Kings for McNabb, just wide of Cam Ward. Now it's played here by Carolina's Brad Malone, and he'll dump it out. In the center ice area, Justin Williams by Hainsey. Cutting across is Belmore on Anze Kopitar. They go to the corner now. Marion Gabrick lays the body on Jay McClement. Brad Malone in control. Carolina will get it out. Ron Hainsey fires it all the way back in the Kings' end, and now they reorganize with 2 minutes left to go in period 1. Alec Martinez winds it up. Play it off a body off Justin Falk. Dustin Brown turning away from Falk, holding onto it. Back to the point. Now Martinez getting it from Regier. He'll go deep. Out of the corner. Victor Rask taken down. Justin Falk now colliding with Dustin Brown. It's carried out. Back out to center ice. Victor Rask away now. Zach Boychuk for Chris Terry. Out in front. They score! Victor Rask, his first NHL goal, and Carolina has a 1-0 lead.
Three-zone play. Watch Rask here, helping out Falk underneath the puck right here. Perfect as a centerman. Now, he gets the puck to the outside, drives the middle lane. Bill Peters wants that, gets the puck back, the puck goes in. More liberal ability to have the puck go off your skate. It looks like it might have been the stick anyway, so either way, that's a good goal, but that is as good of an example of a three-zone play by a young centerman as you are ever going to see. Help the defense, middle lane drive, go to the net.
So the three young kids come through, and Victor Rask scores his first goal in the National Hockey League. Mark it down, November 2nd, 2014. Right along the boards now by Dustin Brown. Back out to center ice. Chris Terry will get the primary assist on the goal. Zach Boychuk will get the other. Yuri Tolusti now feeds it all the way back in the LA zone. Skinner turns away from it. Through the center ice area, picked off by Carolina's Jay Harrison, right back in the Kings zone. Now Jake Muzzin out to center ice. Through neutral ice and back, Jay Harrison ahead of Mike Richards. It goes off Trevor Lewis. Carried by Elias Lindholm, fed along by Riley Nash. Comes all the way back in, Braden McNabb in control. Turning along the boards for the Kings is Trevor Lewis for Mike Richards. He'll wind it past Cam Ward. Kyle Clifford on it. 34 seconds left in the period. Now Jay Harrison taken down by Mike Richards as they jam. Out of the pile-up. Harrison gets back up. Nash moves it out of the reach of Gerby. To the point. McNabb, he'll settle it down. Trevor Lewis leaves it there. Riley Nash gets to it for the Hurricanes. He'll attempt to get it out. Trevor Lewis inside, intended for Kyle Clifford. Played along the boards here by Elias Lindholm. Held in by the Kings' Trevor Lewis. All the way across for Jeff Carter. His shot off a stick, goes off the glass, it stays in play. 2 seconds left in the period, and that'll do it. Shots are 9 for the Hurricanes, 7 for the Kings, in a period which sees Victor Rask score his first goal in the National Hockey League at 18:26. Stay tuned for the PNC Bank first intermission. Tripp will talk with Jordan Staal live between periods. Chantel McCabe will have the NHL scoreboard. And right now, Justin Williams standing by with Tripp Tracy.
Thanks very much, John. Justin, we talked in the first period about you and Rod Brindamore. Did you look up at all and see him on the bench? You said you were the best line mate he ever played with.
That means something. He's played with a lot of darn good players, and Roddy and I had some good chemistry for a lot of years. And unfortunately for hockey, time marches on a lot, and I moved on, and so did he.
Well, as you've marched on, you've become the all-time point producer in Game 7s. I know you don't like talking about it, but if there's a young player watching today that has dreams of grabbing the moment when the pressure's on, not letting the moment grab him, what advice would you give?
Well, I think you basically got to believe in your ability and don't go out there afraid to make any mistakes. You make mistakes you can recover from, and just play on your toes as much as you can and stay off your heels.
Justin, you gave us such special memories. Let's watch just to the right here, because that's where you clinched the Stanley Cup for this organization, jumped up. We all remember it. Welcome back, and good luck to you, my friends.
Nice coming back. Thanks.
Yeah, you got it. Back to you, John.
All right, Tripp, thank you very much. Class act all the way, Justin Williams. The Hurricanes with a great period. They lead the defending Stanley Cup champions 1-0. Take a look back at a great moment in Canes history. Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by North Carolina Education Lottery. All or Nothing is the exciting new draw game from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Match all or match none and win the top prize of $250,000. Either way wins. By Raleigh Orthopedic. Go where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. And by Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness. I guess it's the right weekend for Phantom. We're talking about the camera, folks. The Phantom Cam in the house tonight, and the Hurricanes get ready for the second period. We're back inside PNC Arena. Cam Ward leading the boys out, looking for back-to-back wins against Tanner Pearson and the Kings. Coors Light, cold hard facts. Victor Rask and Tanner Pearson right now among the league leaders in terms of rookies and shots on goal. Victor Rask scoring his first NHL goal at 18:26 of period one. John Forsland, Tripp Tracy is between the benches tonight. I'm joined also by Chantel McCabe as we start this second period. Canes will be at the Columbus Blue Jackets on Tuesday night. It starts with Hurricanes Live at 6:30 from Nationwide Arena as that puck deflects in the Los Angeles bench. Let's take a look at the first period numbers brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Aw, man, now I want wings. And Carolina had a good period in terms of faceoffs.
Sure, John, I thought from down here that LA, struggling on the road, pushed real hard early, and then the Hurricanes, after that good kill, really came on and took over.
They did. Their team game in order so far. Offside as they cross here. 25 seconds gone in period two.
I think they might be calling a hooking penalty here. Carolina will get their first power. Let's watch 14. Yeah, there it is on Gerby. That's a hard-working play there from Gerby. First power play of the night for the Canes.
Carolina's power play is 2 out of 13 in the last 5 games. They are number 8 in the National Hockey League, and the Kings are 27th on the kill. Justin Williams for hooking. Off the draw, Sekera out in front, knocked down by Drew Doughty. From the wall, Anze Kopitar off the skate of Chris Terry. Loose just inside the line. Good hustle by Riley Nash. Elias Lindholm at the half wall. It's Nash. He'll set it up. Inside for Lindholm. Fanned on in the slot. Sekera. Terry scores! Chris Terry as they go around the clock. And Carolina has a 2-0 lead.
You got it. Well, it ends up with a laser shot, but what a good keep by the guy that scored the goal, Chris Terry. Off his left skate, and then Nash getting to the puck. I thought some good work from Lindholm along the goal line. Then he goes to the front of the net, and I mean, this was a one-timing bomb by Chris Terry. Isn't it nice to see he's the guy that keeps the puck in with the help of Nash, and then he has that reward?
That's usually how it works. The Hurricanes now get a huge goal here to start the second period. Chris Terry with his 4th goal of the season.
Assisted by number 4, Andre Sakara.
Hurricanes scored in the power play, so you can go to Bojangles tomorrow morning from 5:30 to 10 a.m. and pick up your Bowberry biscuit. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com/Bojangles for rules and participating locales.
If you speed like Terry's shot did, though, you're going to get a ticket. That was a howitzer.
Now comes all the way back in the zone. Along the wall, back to the point. Regehr with a shot blocker down by Cam Ward. Tyler Toffoli. Hampered a bit by Jeff Skinner. It comes all the way back. Andre Sakara now from his own zone and back out. Nathan Gerbe in control. Ice cut in half on him by Tyler Toffoli, and Robin Regehr takes over. Alec Martinez for Toffoli. Little chip out to center. Jiri Tlusty, right place, right time as teams play catch here. Tlusty attempts to get it deep, and now Martinez with a tight turn on Skinner, and he'll start ahead. Jeff Carter moving up on Brett Belmore. He'll cut. Knocked down. No quarter given. Beautiful play by Brett Belmore. Here's McClement moving up to the outside. He'll circle the wagons. Hold on to it. Back to the point. Belmore pending on a pass. Broken up. Carried out of the zone now by Justin Williams. He'll get it deep. Ron Hainsey paired on defense with Brett Belmore. Along the boards. Kopitar had it, lost it. Now taking a swipe at it. Marian Gaborik. Inside for Williams. He's defended by Ron Hainsey. Out of the pileup. Gaborik shielded by Brad Malone. A pinch by LA's Drew Doughty. Gaborik at the point. This way for Jake Muzzin. His wrister blocked on the way through by Belmore. He fights off a man in Kopitar and lugs it out. Good play by Carolina's Brett Belmore.
And long second period change. Further to go. Belmore gets off. He was tired. That's a good shift. It wasn't pretty, but he gets it done.
Now it's carried here by Justin Williams. Caught easily by Cam Ward, and no further play.
The great shooters in this league, they get so low. I think about Brett Hull. Terry, who can absolutely fire it. He doesn't get that low. I mean, sometimes you see the knees practically touching the ice. But it works for him. Good hit. Puck is there. Frontal contact. Belmore on Carter.
And they're playing a team tonight, the Hurricanes are. The league leader in terms of hits, and they're playing right at him in that regard. Trevor Lewis paddled down for Cam Ward. It's loose to the corner. Kyle Clifford, Chris Terry come together. Now you're looking at Tim Gleason. Out to center ice. Chris Terry moving up on McNabb. Terry to the outside. Checked by McNabb. Zach Boychuk as they grind a cycle. He's held up by Matt Green. Now Terry along the boards. McNabb again on him. Green outlets for Richards as the Kings attempt to get it out. Kyle Clifford in neutral ice. Picked off by the Hurricanes. Zach Boychuk. At it around again. Victor Rask in control. Tries to move it by McNabb to the corner. Here's Boychuk. He's checked by McNabb. Open space for LA's Kyle Clifford, and out they go. Through the center ice zone, choked off by Nash. Here's Lindholm. His shot goes high over the top of Jonathan Quick. Now it's played along the boards by Kyle Clifford, and again out to neutral ice. Riley Nash winds it up. Moving up on Matt Green. It comes all the way in. McNabb back to play it. In support, Gerbe off the stick of Clifford. Falk with a shot. Stopped by Quick. The rebound. He handles that one. Elias Lindholm on the doorstep. 2 quality saves by Jonathan Quick.
We began our night talking about one Swede going to the front of the net and scoring 2 last night, and he continues to do it. That's Elias Lindholm. He forces Jonathan Quick, a former playoff MVP. I mean, that's a full split. He's paying the price. He's battling. Here's the Phantom camera. Shows you infinite more frames of how that puck gets through 3 LA King bodies. Good job from Falk with his head up. Then the net front presence is Lindholm actually gets a piece of it on the way in before the rebound.
And a big scramble afterwards, and Quick won the battle for the loose puck. The Hurricanes continue to mount pressure. They look sharp again. Out to center. On the attack for the Kings is Dustin Brown. Mopped up by Belmore. Chopped wide. Right out in front, Dwight King. Penalty upcoming here against Carolina. Brown shot. Stopped by Ward. The Canes get possession. It's a hooking call. LA to the power play.
Yeah, Kevin Pollock, the end zone official, makes the call. Veteran referee. Let's watch here. It happen on the other side. Let's watch coming up. Yeah, hey, it was a hook on Williams. It's a hook on Belmore.
So Brett takes a seat. And we'll see a King power play go to work here for the second time tonight. They have Kopitar, Pearson, Toffoli, Carter, and Doughty. Carolina, the up-front killers are Patrick Dwyer and Jay McClement with Andre Sekera and Justin Falk back. And it comes all the way back to Jonathan Quick. Up ice pressure by Pat Dwyer on Jeff Carter. Early in this second period, 2-0 Carolina. Anze Kopitar, cross-corner dump in. Sekera ahead of Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli met by Justin Falk. It pops out as we see, and it's cleared out by Patrick Dwyer.
Toffoli, he's always been a goal scorer. We talked about that 70s line. This is a power play, but he was a goal scorer with Ottawa. He just has that ability to finish.
Now they cross. Comes all the way back in. Icing is called here. 15:04 left to go in the second period, and a good break for the Hurricanes.
And you know what, the funny story, Carolina's first-year assistant general manager, Mike Vellucci, was the GM of the Plymouth Whalers, and he drafted one pick after Ottawa. Ottawa took a guy, Brian Kilroy was their GM, named Tyler. And he thought, uh-oh, Vellucci did. They just took Sagan. They took Tyler Toffoli. He took Sagan, Vellucci did, who the Kings will see in Dallas a couple nights from now.
The young man has 14 points in his last 10 games. He's at a +12 already. Drew Doughty over the line, tries to move it by Gleason. To the corner now, it goes deep. Jeff Carter, top of your screen, guarded by Gleason. Harrison gets to it for the moment. Broken up by Toffoli. Good help here by Carolina's Jiri Tlusty. Tlusty wins the battle, has the puck. 2-on-2, shorthanded. Tlusty approaching Doughty. Thinks twice at the line. He was forced by Doughty, and it comes all the way back. 48 seconds left on the King power play. Stretch pass for Justin Williams. He'll deflect it in. Andre Sekera from the corner. Williams with a steal. Doughty across. They score! And it's Mike Richards on the weak side, off the post and in. Power play goal, and the Kings cut the lead in half.
Let's watch for Andre Sekera coming up right here. He's going to go up the middle here, but Williams, not a Carolina player, reads it. If you go to the middle and, you know, it's not executed properly, you see what it can lead to. Beautiful one-time pass, and it wasn't a hard shot from Richards, but it was perfectly placed off that pipe and in, but that's a turnover Bill Peters would like to avoid.
So the power play goal for the Los Angeles Kings. Mike Richards, primary assist going to Drew Doughty. Justin Williams gets the second one. And the goal comes at 5:39. Victor Rask this way for Zach Boychuk. His shot swallowed by Jonathan Quick. 13:58 left to go in the second period. The Kings go up by 2, but then it's answered on the goal by Mike Richards. Rask with his first goal of his career in the NHL here tonight. Trip between the benches. You've got a story about the puck.
Well, there's a minute and a half left in the first period. Okay, so not much time. And so I turned to Pete Friesen and I say, Pete, do you have the puck? He said, yeah. And he gave it to me. But then as it got towards the end of the first period, a good teammate, a bit of a territorial teammate, Anton Hudobin, kept coming to me. He thought I was going to take the puck home. So he reached out with his glove and he said, Tripp, if you don't talk about it before the end of the period, I got to take it to the room. I have to protect this for Victor. So it was a nice chronology, and boy, what a moment for the young Swede Rask.
Off the draw now. Skinner tied up by Martinez. Lugged out here by Dustin Brown, moving up on Ron Hainsey. He gets to the outside. He centers one in the skates of Dwight King. Picked off by Skinner, away for Eric Stahl. Eric Stahl now through the center zone with Belmore at his side. Brett Belmore options back for Ron Hainsey, and they start again. Jeff Skinner to the middle of the ice, off the stick of Eric Stahl. It comes back. Jared Stoles, you see it from ice level, battling with him. Moves to the top of your screen. Harrison races ahead. Picked off by the Kings. Alec Martinez elevating the puck high at the line and back out to neutral ice. Here's Stoll. Jarrett Stoll. His pass across out of the reach of Dwight King. King now will cradle it along the boards. Inside out of the reach of Williams. Moving in on a change is Andrei Kopitar. At the point, Drew Doughty. Turning, Kopitar. Kopitar wipes ahead off a stick, loose out in front. Carolina defends it well as they get it out to the center zone. Here comes Tolusti out in front, just wide of Quick. He was looking for Eric Stahl. Stahl inside again, Doughty. And back of the net. Chugs away from Jeff Skinner, sets up on Jay Kopitar, and the Kings are away. Marian Gaborik. They're gaining speed and momentum now. It gets to the corner. Broken up by Riley Nash. Elias Lindholm. 3-on-3 come the Hurricanes. His pass detected by Doughty. Back out to neutral ice. Nathan Gerby outside the stripe, winds it in.
Andre Rasico, veteran linesman, making sure the Canes trying to change defense, not guilty of too many men. He's one of the best.
Marian Gaborik hesitated as he fanned on a pass. The result is an offside with 12:14 left to go in the second period.
Well, the Hurricanes, I thought, had a good three-zone chance, starting with a play on their own end by Skinner. Eric Stahl driving the net, and Stahl nearly scores. Good look from the Phantom camera. My correction, it's Pierre Rasico, not Andre, the good linesman, making sure nobody's guilty of too many men down here.
There was an Andre Rasico at one point. You know that.
Pierre's my friend, actually. He's going to be mad at me for saying that. I just talked to him at the start of the period.
You know that Andre Rasico used to be a goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens, and he had the worst nickname you can have as a goalie. You know what it is, Trip?
I probably had it, but I don't know it. What is it?
Red light. Not good. Now Sekera holding onto it. His shot stopped by Quick. The rebound lay loose. Sekera again, a tight turn on Trevor Lewis. Andre Sekera holding onto it. Playing it well inside the line. Sekera puts on a show. Lewis takes him off it. Braden McNabb tries to clear, and now Trevor Lewis will. With help from Kyle Clifford and back out. At the line, kicked ahead by Terry. Victor Rask. Pawed down by Braden McNabb and back out. Some loose play here in the center zone. Chopped ahead by Victor Rask, and the Hurricanes will get a change. How quick are the changes tonight, Trip?
Very, very quick. I mean, the best that I've seen in really a couple of years, because the Hurricanes have been guilty of, especially the forwards, too long of shifting.
Another nice hit by Belmore on Clifford. Here comes Hainsey, shut down by Quick. Along the boards, Brad Malone and Alec Martinez come together. McNabb given a shove by Patrick Dwyer. Jay McClement at the top of your screen for Carolina. Here's Pat Dwyer this way, Brad Malone. Malone out in front. Off sticks. Hainsey at the point, snaps ahead. It's Jay McClement. Inside for Dwyer. Dwyer grinding down low. Holding onto it to the outside. Patrick Dwyer looking for Brad Malone. Nice read by Alec Martinez. And out they come. They'll gain center ice. Feed it in on Cam Ward with 10:22 left to go in the second period. 2-1 Carolina. Jay McClement in control. Muzzin knocking it down for the Kings. Here comes Tanner Pearson. Tyler Toffoli shooting one. Stopped by Ward.
Muzzin made a heck of a play there, standing up at his own blue line to create that Toffoli chance. See Belmore, boy, has he been physical here in this second period. Yeah, Muzzin had made the play. The Kings defense has been more active offensively here on the counter. And like I said, Toffoli, the former Ottawa 67, he's a natural goal scorer. And he's the guy with the most points on this That 70s line that is as good as any in the NHL right now.
They take a seat. Jeff Carter was the first star in the NHL last week. They had an incredible homestand. They won 6 in a row during that homestand. Then they hit the road on this trip where they're still looking for their first win. Dustin Brown. Deflected puck that comes all the way back in the Kings zone. Jake Muzzin pressured by Jeff Skinner. Jarrett Stoll sends it all the way back. Drew Doughty can't get to it. Good work by Tolusti along the boards for the Hurricanes. At the line, Tolusti is offside. We get a stoppage of play. 9:47 left to go in the second period. You have to be physical against the Los Angeles Kings.
Halfway through, or a bit more, Jay Harrison joins us here in Raleigh. 2-1 for your team. Jay, it seems like the forwards are doing a better job systematically in the neutral zone, your own end, of helping out. How are they helping you as a group of defense?
Yeah, our feet are moving first, and we're thinking second. I think that's been a huge part of our success tonight. Not only with the puck, but away from the puck as well. Allows the defense to stay up, tight gap, and force them to dump pucks.
It's very noticeable. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thank you, Tripp. And it has to please the Hurricane bench, the coaching staff, and Bill Peters talked about LA's ability to play heavy, right, Tripp? But when you move your feet, and as quick as the Hurricanes have been in this game, they haven't been able to get to that level yet.
And you also talked to Bill Peters about pace and how you appropriately play fast, and that's exactly what Jay was talking. I mean, sometimes the best thing to do is positionally stay put, but sometimes the better thing to do is to move your feet first. I was just watching Steve Smith down here, and he's like a poker player. He should be in the World Series of Poker because he does not show his hand with the last change. He's running the D. Bill Peters, Rod Brindamore, the forwards. And Daryl Sutter, say John Stevens, associate coach for the Kings. Steve Smith does not show his hand with any body language of who he's putting out.
We'd have to give him a nickname, something different than Smitty. You know, if he's at the poker table, right? They go by those handles.
Well, you're good with nicknames. You can come up with one.
I know I can. Now, in the center ice area, Tanner Pearson for the Kings with a shot read by Cam Ward and no further play. Justin Falk last night went through a lot of adversity and played through it quite well.
Well, he sure did. He's wearing the visor here. Late in the first period, catches that puck up high. Brought to us by the Phantom camera. Comes back in the second period with a fully wired cage. Helps set up a big goal, and now he's adjusted there as you see the visor with almost that football-type jaw protector down low.
Canes will be in Columbus on Tuesday night. We have it right here, starting with Hurricanes live at 6:30. Skinner's shot blocked. Rebound chance stopped by Quick. The block, Muzzin. The save, Quick. The two chances, Jeff Skinner. Now it comes all the way back in. Cam Ward off the stick of Tanner Pearson. Left there, in control, Dustin Brown out in front. Nobody home. To the outside, Pearson blocked by Sekera. Played here by Martinez. Inside for Brown. Carter in back of the goal. Jeff Carter to the outside, down the wall. Robin Regier, shielded by Falk. Dwight King now, tied up by Andre Sekera. In support of him, it's Dustin Brown. King out in front. Good play by Justin Falk. And Carolina will get it out. He'll wind it, or it's caught and covered by Jonathan Quick.
He's becoming the Justin Falk of old, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
This is really, really good to see. Boy, Andre Sekera gets caught behind the net. Watch Falk's stick. It's on the ice. Watch the play he makes. Beautiful. And he carries it up the ice and actually nearly fooled his Olympic teammate, Jonathan Quick, with a long ranger.
Victor Rask, Chris Terry, and Zach Boychuk combined on the first goal tonight. They are out there matched up against the line, centered here by Jarrett Stoll. And Daryl Sutter's mixing and matching now. He has Stoll, King, and Toffoli out there. It goes to the corner. Green checked by Terry. Rask in support. Off of Quick, it's loose. Good job by Rask. A follow-up. Belmore handled by Quick. Belmore again. Brett Belmore rolls it deep. Zach Boychuk will grind out of that corner, stopping and starting on Dwight King. Good work by Boychuk. He stays with it to the point. Belmore. Now Boychuk one more time. He'll walk it. Shoot one. Stopped by Quick. Rebound chance. Stopped again. It was Rask who was tied up by Jarrett Stoll. And a penalty will follow if not for Quick. It's 3-1.
How about the young Swedes this weekend for Carolina? Lindholm last night. Rask tonight.
LA 28.
Boychuk's been good. Look at that net front effort by two players. I think that's Terry on the other side too. They're both battling. You draw a penalty in the process. Boy, the Phantom camera tells you right there, Quick, even though he goes down, you see how vertical and upright that collarbone is? Otherwise, Rask has the second goal of his young career.
Second power play tonight for the Hurricanes. Nash, Lindholm, Gerby, along with Terry and Sekera for Bill Peters. Cam Ward will play it. Away from Dustin Brown. He along with Kopitar up front. They have the defense pairing of Alec Martinez and Robin Regier on the ice. Sekera, center zone, flung ahead by Chris Terry. Hard around, the Hurricanes flood this side, but it's broken up by Alec Martinez. He'll kill time.
Cam Ward doesn't have to wait here. He came so close to playing that puck in the forbidden area, and Kevin Pollock was right on the spot.
Hurricanes start ahead. That much time left in the period, and power play. Regier just over the stick of Andrej Sekera, and it comes all the way back. Chris Terry with Carolina's power play goal tonight away from Trevor Lewis. Kings have scored 3 shorthanded goals already this season, and 2 of those have come on the road. Sekera for Elias Lindholm. Lindholm will wrap it in. Tyler Toffoli has all 3. Now Green moves it in. Lindholm out in front. What a save by Quick a couple of times on Nathan Gerbe. Fault. His pass detected by Green. He takes down Lindholm out of the corner. Carolina rallies for it. Nash working hard. So is Lindholm. And they win the battle. Green is there, and the Kings get to it. It's dumped out by Drew Doughty.
How about the Oscar entertainment element to Jonathan Quick's game? He doesn't just make big saves. He isn't just a supreme competitor. How about the style points?
He's fun to watch. Now it's broken up. Cleared again by Martinez. 20 seconds left in the manpower advantage. Cam Ward hands it off to Victor Rask. Rask will quarterback. The pass broken up by Brown. Bouncing in off the blocker of Cam Ward. Penalty has only 5 seconds left in it. Stoll is up and ready. 5:47 left to go in the second period. 2-1 Carolina. Stoll out of the box. Here's Skinner. His shot blocked by Regier. Eric Staal out in front, picked off by Jarrett Stoll. Back out to center. Carolina 1 for 2 in the power play. It's carried in by Justin Williams. Shut down by Cam Ward. Loose along the boards in deep. Now back for Drew Doughty. Doughty thinks about a shot. A pass is his second choice. Now Muzzin down the wall. Good chip by Skinner. They get it out. Eric Staal rolls it in.
Good job getting it out. Hey, a guy that commands so much respect. Daryl Sutter looked across the ice, pointed to Stoll. John, stay on the ice when you're out of the box. That's all Daryl Sutter needs to do.
That's it. Now it's moved here by Cam Ward off a glass support. Accepted by Zach Boychuk. And away they go. You're looking at Tim Gleason. Gleason with a shot stopped by Quick, who fights it off and covers with 4:57 left to go in the second period. He is, as his name says, Jonathan Quick on the spot.
It's 2-1 Canes in the second period, and there's Justin Williams, the former Cane, won the Conn Smythe Trophy last year, the MVP for the playoffs, and he joked afterwards that he checked out all of the names, and it felt like to him he was going to be a trivia question in 20 years from now because he felt like it was a name that didn't fit along with the likes of Bobby Orr and many more Hall of Famers, perfectly to show his personality, humble yet hardworking. John?
Well, it fits, Chantel, when you're 7-0 in Game 7s with plenty of points. And a Conn Smythe. Now Quick holds on to it. Shot taken from well out, and it couldn't happen to a better guy.
It literally couldn't. And I think the biggest endorsement of the Carolina Hurricanes is that, you know, Justin's gone and not only won 2 cups in LA, but he has been the star in their recent one. And I still think Carolina holds as special of a place in his heart as you could ever imagine. He wanted to be a Hurricane. Now the Hurricanes got Eric Cole and went to the conference finals. Tough to say goodbye to Justin, but that's how special Carolina was to him.
And the toughest thing is to march on into the next season, which the 06 Carolina group found out. And this team has worked through for 3 years, winning 2 cups. As it's played right out in front, they've played more playoff games than anybody. And they continue to grind through the start of the season, and they're upset at 6-2-2. Good save by Cam Ward. Shot taken by Alec Martinez, and the puck comes out.
Man, he scored a big goal last spring, didn't he, Martinez?
He did. He did. Now it comes back. Sekera drops it off. Riley Nash in control. Kicked ahead. Gained here by Nathan Gerbe. Lindholm cuts. His shot. He scores! What a shot! Elias Lindholm blows it by Jonathan Quick. 3-1 Carolina.
Cam Ward told us before the season, and he said, I don't want to make Jeff Skinner upset, but Elias Lindholm has the quickest release on the team. Now, Gerbe, a huge part. Giving it to the outside, driving the front of the net. There's a screen involved there. But have we seen 2 phenomenal releases? One on a one-timer from Terry. And then, I mean, as natural of a release from a young Swede as you're going to see as the Swedish weekend continues here in Carolina.
Elias Lindholm disguising that release, and then, it's gone. Gerby, an excellent job jamming the front of the goal, which is a requirement against a guy like Quick. And the Hurricanes back up by 2. Anze Kopitar centers one through the blue and out. It's loose along the boards. Kopitar spins off a hit thrown at him by Harrison. Cam Ward says no on Williams. Williams again off Ward. Out in front. Cam Ward has control.
The timely saves, John. The ones that you wake up the next morning and you say, if he doesn't make it right there, this game goes in a different direction. Lindholm is third of the weekend, third of the year. Great play from Gerby to drive. The middle lane drive has been a big part of the first and third goal for Carolina. The second one was a power play goal. Victor Rask had the middle lane drive on his own goal, and there Nathan had it. Creates time and space. It creates something that Jonathan Quick has to think about, and then the release did the rest. I mean, that was just something.
26 shots for the Hurricanes, who had 35 last night. And their 5-on-5 play trip is really improving.
Yeah, and they're showing that they're not getting rattled when they give up a goal like they did out in Western Canada.
Right. And it's how long you can play your team game against a team like this. That's the measuring stick here tonight. So far, so good. Along the boards and back out, Brad Malone. Brett Belmore. Just about 17 minutes gone in the second period. Up the line. McNabb, a tough time with Pat Dwyer. Dwyer out in front. Quick shuts it down. Malone on the doorstep. Still fought for. Hack and whack time. It kicks out all the way back. In control now. Shifting gears is Ron Hainsey. Hainsey out in front. It's tipped again, and a penalty upcoming against Los Angeles.
I have no idea how that puck stayed out of the net. Quick overextended himself, so he's long gone. And you see a cross-check in the process.
2 minutes for cross-checking.
And you hear the announcement, it's going to be green. But right here, boy, the LA Kings really did a job of keeping that puck out of the net, because Quick goes, it just squibbles behind him here. But Clements there. Dwyer comes around the other side. Heck of a job by LA to keep it out.
So Matt Green in the penalty box. He goes for cross-checking. Trying to prevent the scoring chance, doing all he could. But Carolina, late in the second period, they get another power play. Great look at Victor Rask on this unit. They gain entry with Eric Stahl. Victor Rask off a stick and back out. Good stick by Dustin Brown. So this unit has Falk and Rask at the point. Skinner, Stahl, and Tolusti up front. Justin Falk off Tolusti, off the skates. It stays in play. To the point, Rask holding onto it. Moved off to Falk. Justin Falk hands it off to Stahl. Out in front, Skinner. Encumbered by the pass. Loose this way for Dustin Brown. He sets up Anze Kopitar. They kill time.
I just noticed Rask down here that I wouldn't if I were sitting next to you, John, which of course I thoroughly enjoy. His head is up all the time. I'm watching him right now. One of those players, it's up the whole time, finds the open man.
And he found his way to the power play by answering a question. You always have to answer questions correctly. We'll get to that in a moment. It comes all the way back. 1:33 left to go in the second period. Through the center zone, a lead pass intended for Elias Lindholm. Cradling it, Jonathan Quick. Played here by Riley Nash to the point man, Sekera. He'll walk it. Now it's Nash holding onto it. Inside, Lindholm, he mishandled. He had him, but he tried to shift right out in front. Duke Energy power play notes right here. Canes franchise since '87. 4 power play goals in the first 9. Tolusti, along with Brindamore, Kevin Dineen, and Robbie Brown. Downtown Robbie Brown. That's good company. Now, the story on Mr. Rask, Mr. Tracy.
Well, you deliver it better. He was brought up to the front of the plane.
Second guy, though, right?
Yeah, second guy. We're not going to mention the first. Well, I'm going to let you do the story, because the other guy was a Swede, too, about finding a guy to play the point on the power play. Take it, John.
Who's playing well and who has scored tonight? The first guy.
Yeah.
And the question was asked, have you played the point in the power play? The answer, no. Next guy in, have you played the point in the power play anywhere in your career? Yes. Okay, you're in. That's it, folks. That's how it works. Now Lindholm holding onto it. And it's dumped all the way out, and Victor Rask has looked very good on the power play.
However, Bill Peters went ahead and called Victor Rask, coach with the Calgary Hitmen, who's coaching somewhere else in the West now, to make sure he was telling the truth.
That's the most important part of the story. Now Lindholm goes all the way across because you have to verify these things, right? And now it's played here and carried out. Do your homework, verify, make sure you're bang on. Now the puck is cleared in, and Peters does all of that. Now Belmore to the corner, all the way back up top. Jake Muzzin holding on to it. Inside it goes. It's Kopitar. Kopitar dangling it back of Ward. He has Gaborik out in front. On the flank, Muzzin. Back for Kopitar. Kopitar retreats, holding on to it. 12 seconds left in the period. Even terms on the ice. Muzzin! Ward got a piece. It goes in the screen. The Canes have scored 3 again. When they score 3 or more, thanks to Papa John's, you get a free large pizza the next day when you buy a large menu-priced pizza online from participating locales. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Yeah, Bill called Victor's coach, but you know, John, we had a good game to call in Madison Square Garden in New York where Seinfeld took place a few weeks ago. George Costanza said it's not a lie if you believe it.
True. I believe you. 8.1 seconds left in this second period. Carter off the draw with a shot wide of Ward. 4 seconds. Here's Doughty. Taken care of by McClement, who feeds it out, and that'll do it. Excellent 20, the second 20. After the first 20 for the Hurricanes, Tripp will speak to Victor Rask, who has scored his first NHL goal tonight. We have NHL scores and highlights. That all comes your way during the PNC Bank second intermission. Cam Ward and the boys getting it done again. They're playing physical, they're timely, and they're getting through a very good goaltender in Jonathan Quick. Carolina 3, Los Angeles 1, right here on Fox Sports Carolinas. Welcome back inside PNC Arena as we get ready for the third period. Hurricanes with a 3-1 lead over the Los Angeles Kings. Let's take a look at Coors Light. Cold Hard Facts, our second installment tonight. Goals by rookies, Tanner Pearson and Chris Terry, right now on top of the National Hockey League. Terry scoring tonight on the power play for the Hurricanes.
Good look at his curve there, John. The majority of that bend is from the middle of the blade right up to that toe, and you can see it gets thicker there at that toe because he wants to be able to handle the puck in that portion of the stick.
Cam Ward coming off a 25-save performance last night, his first shutout of the season. Getting ready for this third period, opposed by Jonathan Quick, who's been stellar at times, but the Hurricanes had 20 shots of their 27 in the second period.
And Jonathan Quick has been dazzling. Both goaltenders have. I mean, that to me makes this even more of a measuring stick. Quick coming off of a tough game for himself and his team in Detroit. Kings getting healthy bodies back. One of them's right in front of me in Gaborik. The other's taking this face-off Kopitar. They're desperate for a win. John, you know you covered a lot of their games for NBC. They were especially good in third periods in the playoffs.
Very rarely do they give up 20 shots in any period, and they will respond. So the Hurricanes will be ready for that with a 2-goal lead, and they have had the lead as they did last night. Here's a turnover right off the hop. Jake Muzzin got back that time on Elias Lindholm, and the Kings survive as they punch it out. John Forsland along with Tripp Tracy, who is between the benches. Also joined as always by Chantel McCabe, who will be at Columbus on Tuesday night from Nationwide Arena. It starts here on Fox Sports Carolinas with Hurricanes live at 6:30. Drew Doughty takes a hit from Nathan Gerby. It goes deep. Ron Hainsey wrapped up by Marian Gaborik. Returned to Daryl Sutter's lineup tonight after missing 8 games with an injury. Now Williams out in front, cleaned up by Hainsey. Gaborik gets to it. Riley Nash is checking him. Brett Belmore from the corner in control for Carolina. His pass sails all the way back in the Kings zone. Should it make the line? It hits the side of the goal, and icing is called. The Carolina Ale House is the spot for cool bars. The next one is Tuesday night at Briar Creek. The Canes will be in Columbus. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details.
And so the first thing I do down here between the benches, look at Bill Peters. He has his timeout available, but these guys are fresh. He's going to hold on to it.
Back it goes, Robin Regeer. He'll wind it along for Dustin Brown. Brown on this line with Tyler Toffoli and Jeff Carter. Alec Martinez taking a swat at it that time. It's cleared out by Ron Hainsey and all the way back. Regeer on the wall. Toffoli away from Gerby. Now the Kings will reorganize. Tyler Toffoli sweeps it across for Regier. Headman pass for Dustin Brown. Falk defending for Carolina. Up the gut, not out. Martinez snared by Cam Ward.
Well, John, in hockey, you snare if you're Cam Ward, but in volleyball, you actually spike.
You do.
And Rod Brittenmore's daughter, Briley, last night won, I believe it's Cardinal Gibbons, a local high school, the Crusaders, their 5th consecutive state championship. 3rd for Briley. She's the captain. She was the MVP. And afterwards, she said, does this sound familiar? She said, it's not about me. It's about the team.
Absolutely. She's an outside hitter. I believe that's the spot and the position that she mans, and does it quite well. And Rod's very proud of all his children, a wonderful family, and really fitting in nicely with this new coaching staff.
Yeah, you're right. She's the one that spikes from the outside, and she's going to be a senior next year, wants to play college volleyball.
It's loose now along the boards. Matt Green goes inside. Out of the corner. Played along here as it punches out right onto the stick of Justin Falk. Through center ice, Jay McClement. Hit hard. That was Braden McNabb coming up hard on him. And now Trevor Lewis will clear it back out to center ice. Pearson this way for Mike Richards. Richards out of the corner, pulls up. Snapped along, but tipped wide by Brad Malone off the stick of Lewis, and it's carried out. Patrick Dwyer goes off on a line change. He'll roll it in.
Yeah, clean hit from McNabb. Once upon a time, a Buffalo Sabre. And before that, Kootenai in the Western Hockey League. It was clean.
Now Matt Green for Jake Muzzin. He'll send it in. Golfed. Dumped out of the zone that time by Victor Rask. It comes all the way back. Doughty for Muzzin. Through the center ice area. Furthered by Clifford. Getting to it is Rask. Victor Rask now is flushed out. Good forechecking this time by Jarrett Stoll. Swept along by Terry. A drop pass. Gleason getting it from Boychuk. Tim Gleason. Broken up out in front by Drew Doughty. He'll turn away from the pack. Played along the boards. Carolina positioned well again as the Kings try to work it up ice. White King moves in. Hauls down Victor Rask and got away with it. Now Yuri Talusti. Out to center ice, cradling it by Drew Doughty. Andrzej Kopitar swings it back for Doughty. And again, they move it back.
Boy, heady play from Rask there. He went down, but reversed the puck beautifully to get it out.
Good forechecking. Here's Eric Stahl. He can't find the handle. He was set up by Yuri Talusti. Gabrick off the stick of Belmore. He punishes Justin Williams. Now a loose puck. 3-on-2 come the Hurricanes. Skinner, Talusti, Stahl. Good play by Doughty. He can't clear, though. Talusti gets it from Skinner. Jeff Skinner in back of the goal, defended by Andrzej Kopitar. Drew Doughty for Justin Williams, and they get it out. Now Kopitar moves off for Gabrick. In front, Robin Regier. Kopitar in back of the goal. Off Ward, accepted here and carried out by Eric Stahl.
Boy, Belmore, how many good hits has he had tonight?
2 very good games in a row for Brett Belmore. And the aforementioned defenseman will dump it in. Back to get it is Alec Martinez with just over 4 minutes gone in this third period. 3-1 Carolina. These two teams will play again at Staples Center on November 20th. Now it's played by Nathan Gerby and back out to Foley. Out of the reach of Dustin Brown. Andre Sekera for Nathan Gerby, sidestepping Matt Green, but Green comes up with the puck. He'll clear it ahead.
And Gerby dodged a bullet. He could have taken ice with his speed and puck possession there, and instead turned it over, but the Hurricanes were able to march up the ice anyways.
Icing called here. Let's take a look at the Hurricanes' teeth-rattling check of the game presented by Dr. Tom Long, team dentist for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, and you want to finish a guy that's playing as well as Jeff Carter is. You mentioned John recently, the NHL Player of the Week. You want it to be a physical brand of hockey. On Justin Williams, a playoff MVP. Boy, those are beauties.
Off the draw, Carolina, as we see, in control. Elias Lindholm, 3 goals on the weekend. He'll dump it in. Doughty and Muzzin back to get it. This is Doughty. Drew Doughty now. Out to center ice. Carolina awaiting them in the center zone. It deflects back. Patrick Dwyer looks around. Trevor Lewis forechecking. Jay Harrison from the corner. On the wall, Malone choked off him for the moment by Doughty. Back it goes. Trevor Lewis moves it along for Doughty. Back to the point, turning. Tanner Pearson, his shot. Looking for a tip, none available. Now it's Lewis. Lewis in control, out in front. Left the puck for Mike Richards, who has scored LA's goal tonight. Now it's carried out by Brad Malone. Malone in full flight. Defended by Doughty. Second chance. He'll get it deep.
That is Malone, having played in Colorado, knowing Doughty likes to step up and make that hit. He felt it coming.
Tanner Pearson now dumps it in cross corner. Cam Ward in the trapezoid moves it away from Stoll. Belmore with a chip from Terry. It comes all the way back. Passed quick. Icing again against Carolina. Elias Lindholm will be Mike Maniscalco's guest during Coors Light Canes Corner at the Backyard Bistro. That'll be on November the 6th at 7 p.m. You can listen on 99.9 The Fan.
It's a tough face-off for Rask. He's a little bit tired against Kopitar on his forehand. He wants to just tie up here and rely on his wingers.
Just about 6 minutes gone in this third period. Off the draw, Kopitar for Robin Regeer. Justin Williams holding onto it for Gabrick. Blocked by Hainsey. Batted down, Hainsey again. Passes ahead for Zach Boychuk. He gets by Regeer. He walks in for a chance. Shut down by Quick. They overscaped the rebound. It was Chris Terry. Had that chance. Now Regeer for his partner. Alec Martinez along the boards. Justin Williams. This is Anze Kopitar. Moving it by Ron Hainsey. For Justin Williams, a give back for Kopitar. Anze Kopitar sets up Matt Green. Good stick defensively. It was Eric Stahl. Jeff Skinner moving up on Regeer. Shifting gears. Centering one. Good play by Matt Green. He ties up Jiri Tlusty. Back come the Kings. It's Justin Williams at the line. No friends to pass to. They're changing. They'll drop it ahead. It's batted back out to the center zone. Skinner chops ahead, and the Kings take over. In the person of Braden McNabb. Dustin Brown with a shot off the blocker of Cam Ward. Lindholm ahead for Stahl beautifully. Here they come. Eric Stahl over the line. Nathan Gerby. Now Lindholm just wide. Sekera off quick. Stahl. Gerby off bodies. Defended by Brown. And the Kings survive. They get it out. Here comes Dustin Brown. He tries to walk through the defense. He's in. Ward said no. And back of the goal. A steal by Justin Falk away for Riley Nash. The Kings are on it. It's Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli. Interrupted by Andre Sekera. And out they come. No icing here as the Hurricanes dump it in.
Boy, smart hockey both ways. Entertaining hockey, three-zone hockey. Boy, this is pretty darn good.
Now it's Tanner Pearson for Jeff Carter. Elevating the puck, read beautifully by Tim Gleason. Gleason gets after it, plays the body, plays Carter. Gets it in, quick. Out to play it. He'll leave it for Muzzin. On the wall, Lewis. Trevor Lewis moves it across. In control, it's Doughty. Just about 8 minutes gone in this third period. Cam Ward mops it up. Pearson in the corner got there first. He leaves it for Lewis. Broken up by Harrison. Back to the point. Martinez. His shot. They score! The puck had eyes. A quick shot by Alec Martinez. And the Kings are within one.
Martinez's second goal in as many games. And the Kings have not scored from their blue line. Pearson, what a job he does with the puck possession. The Canes don't have anybody that's there along the wall to help get it out. And it's Lewis in front that creates the net front presence with Gleason. But I'll tell you what, as a left shot, Martinez snaps that to the net very, very quickly. And that's the guy that scored the Stanley Cup winning goal. Now he has a couple in as many games. That's a pretty impressive play. He was a former player at Miami of Ohio.
Also had the goal that got them to the Stanley Cup final. Overtime against Chicago. The deciding game at United Centers. Alec Martinez's second goal of the season, as Tripp pointed out, is second in as many games. One goal contest carried out here by Carolina's Jeff Skinner. Chris Terry locates the puck. Punished a bit by Matt Green at the line. Green with a steal. He sets up Dwight King. He'll barrel in the zone, throw on the brakes. King goes inside for Stoll, negated by Terry. Out of the pile-up. They fight for it. Stoll grinding along with Falk of Carolina. Loose now this way. King on the exchange. Clifford diagonally across. Muzzin. His shot headed down by Cam Ward. Ron Hainsey deposits that puck out. It's Chris Terry. The trailer is Stahl. Eric Stahl delays. Shoots one. Well high. Loose now for Justin Williams. Williams out to the center zone, just about halfway through the period. Williams crosses the line, but they do so offside. 10:55 left to go in regulation time. And the Los Angeles Kings get a huge goal from Alec Martinez. They're within one. Here in Raleigh, as you see Bill Peters and his young team, and I'll tell you what, Tripp, he's getting production from three especially.
I mean, look at the youth. Terry 25, Lindholm 19, Victor Rask 21. Tells you about the future of this franchise. Great to see. And I'll tell you, Bill Peters, I guarantee you what he's talking about is how the Hurricanes are going to deal with this pinching group of LA defense along the wall, whether it be in numbers or winning battles to get pucks out.
Closing the gap, the Kings have 7 shots on goal in this period. Now it comes all the way back deep. Around the wall, Jake Muzzin in control. Justin Falk now holding onto it. They send 2 in on the forecheck, Marian Gaborik and Justin Williams. Williams shielded a bit by Nash. It's loose. Gerby comes all the way back, and Carolina will get it out. Racing ahead is Andrej Sekera. His shot off the pad of Jonathan Quick. Now Riley Nash in control. Nash drags it deep for Lindholm. Elias Lindholm, he's defended. Given a rough ride by Jake Muzzin as the Kings now get it out to neutral ice. Sweeping at it was Tim Gleason. Doughty gave it away. Gerby had it. Lindholm gets to it. He turns, pulls up, plays it back. Just wide. Gleason had his stick thwarted by Anze Kopitar. Now it's carried out by Dustin Brown. It's a 2-on-3. The Kings are changing. Brown shot negated by Gleason. He plays the body on Dustin Brown. Getting to it now is Jiri Tlusty away for Eric Stahl. And away they go. On the flank it's Skinner. He'll kick it ahead. Tolusti's on the gallop. He's defended by Martinez. Eric Stahl takes over. Peppered by Carter. Toffoli, a good job to punch it. Back out to the center zone.
Brown is trying to, I think, really instigate a charge for his hockey club. Then Stahl doing the same, the two captains.
Here comes Mr. Skinner. Jeff Skinner broken up by Alec Martinez, who has brought the Kings within one. 9:14 left in regulation time. Alec Martinez in control. He'll lug it back out to center ice. Richards at his side. Elevating the puck over the top of Ron Hainsey. Trevor Lewis forechecking. They grind along the boards out of the 4-man scrum. Lewis for Los Angeles, tied up by Hainsey. Broken up here nicely by Jay McClement, and out they come. Brad Malone plays it off the boards. He's taken down by Matt Green. No call. Played here by Green again. Broken up by Carolina's Malone. McClement to the outside. Jay McClement stops on a dime. Lays it back for Andrej Sekera. Here it comes. It goes wide. It careens back out by Falk. And now a foot race. And he gets there ahead of Tanner Pearson.
And Pearson has probably improved his skating as much as any player you're ever going to see. Falk still won the race.
Jonathan Quick out to direct traffic. He'll paddle along. Played here by Matt Green. Green now retreats deep in his own zone. On the wall, this is Dwight King. Picked off dead center by Victor Rask. Fed deep by Jarrett Stoll. Kyle Clifford is in first. Clifford for Stoll. Carolina desperately getting back in defensive position. Punched along by Dwight King. They grind it along the boards. King has it. He'll walk it. Back to the point, Muzzin. Muzzin's in. Holding on to it. He'll circle. Jake Muzzin finds the handle. Maintains control. Shoots one. Locked in front. It's loose. Kicked out by Tim Gleason. Gleason along the boards, and Carolina will survive as they get it out. Chris Terry works Doughty. Goes to work. Play continues again. The crowd wants a call. None provided. Back out to center, it's Hainsey. They go D to D for Belmore. Belmore away from Justin Williams, negated by Muzzin. Flung back in by Carolina's Brett Belmore.
Tim Gleason, he was drafted by Ottawa, but of course established himself as a King. Well, he's been good here in the third.
Through the center zone, it's Marian Gaborik. A fancy Dan pass doesn't work. It's offside, and Tim Gleason in the trenches. You have to be in the trenches against the Kings, and Tim Gleason gets it done.
10 to play in the third. Chris, going back to the second, what a goal with the one-timer. What would you say is the biggest key to one-timing the puck the way you do?
Just finding, expanding your wheelhouse. Everyone can one-time a perfect pass, but just adapting to the pass and just trying to put it on net at that point.
Well, that was the thing of beauty. Good luck in finishing this out.
Thank you.
Back up to you, John.
All right, Tripp, thank you very much. We have 7:11 left to go in this third period. Hurricanes maintaining a 1-goal lead. Riley Nash with a shot swallowed by Jonathan Quick. No further play. The freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
I just love this because, the freeze cam shows this puck. First of all, Lindholm not giving anything away. He'd be good at poker too with his eyes to Quick. But then once it starts going end over end after it graces the stick of Robin Regehr, it becomes so much tougher for a goalie, even one of Quick's caliber, to track it.
Off the draw now. It's one back. Tulosti gets in first though, has control. Out of the tie-up, it's loose. Sekera ahead of Tyler Toffoli and back out. Justin Falk away for Jiri Tulosti. He'll thread it across for Skinner. Lurking is Muzzin. They turn back in the person of Dustin Brown, and out they come. His pass intended for Jeff Carter. Carter in deep on Falk. Taken care of by Sekera and Stahl. Hurricanes with Jeff Skinner and with help from Jiri Tulosti deflected by Quick. This is icing.
So Eric Stahl's on the ice, and down here between the benches, game gets late, icing, keeping the same guys on, timeout available. Stahl looks fresh. Veteran guy. He'd rather be on the other side. Richards will have an edge though here because the top of his stick is not entangled with the linesman.
Mike Richards with a goal tonight, and out of the tie-up off the draw, Carolina, it looks like will get possession, and they do. Justin Falk in control, taken down, a penalty will follow. Tanner Pearson will leave, and Carolina will get the power play.
Boy, I don't know if you can state in words for the importance of this team. As Kevin Pollock makes the announcement, I mean, how good this is to see what Justin Falk is doing. I give the referees a lot of credit because Harrison's penalty, which was right on the line back in the first period, if it's a penalty then, it's a penalty now. That's all you ever ask for, which is consistency. If you're Daryl Sutter, you don't want to see an offensive zone penalty at this juncture.
So the Hurricanes get a critical power play here to stretch it out if possible. Martinez winds it along the boards and back out. Carolina's Chris Terry and Andrej Sekera on the points. Forward line, Riley Nash, Elias Lindholm, and Nathan Gerbe. Sekera, full flight Lindholm. This is Terry. Handoff for Gerbe, too far ahead, Kopitar. Got back, Regehr taken off it. Supporting him, Martinez. And now Dustin Brown back out to dead center. Andrej Sekera in control, indirect pass for Nathan Gerbe. He'll feather inside for Riley Nash. Regehr is on him, Martinez tries to dump it out, held in, Sekera. Little fake across now, Terry for Gerbe. His shot off the blocker of Jonathan Quick. Loose along the boards, Sekera. Met there by Anze Kopitar. Martinez kills time, but not enough. He didn't get it deep. It went off the support. Penalty bench, and now it's played ahead in the Los Angeles zone. A steal by Toffoli and back out.
Boy, a lot of confidence, John. First Terry and now Rask in a one-goal game late, putting two young forwards on the point of the power play. I like it.
Victor Rask will lug it out. Scored his first NHL goal tonight. A drop pass for Eric Stahl. He'll wind it in, off Quick. Played here by Matt Green. He sets up Drew Doughty. Trevor Lewis in deep. Pressured on the play. Doughty is an option. He has it. Out he comes. Drew Doughty. Smart choice off the boards. All the way down to Cam Ward.
The key, John, will be at the end of this power play. You have four forwards on the ice. The first forward that gets off, a defenseman needs to come on at the other door.
Now they cross again in the person of Justin Falk, rubbed out by Drew Doughty. Matt Green pressured on the forecheck by Tulosti. Here's Eric Stahl. To the outside it goes. Skinner for Falk. This way, Victor Rask. A wrister through bodies, blocked by Green. Back it goes for Falk. One-timer, Skinner denied by Quick. And Drew Doughty feeds it out. Pearson's out of the box. And Falk sends it in.
Perfect. Rask comes off, Hainsey comes on. Forward comes off, defenseman comes on. That's a sharp bench.
Matt Green now will move it away from Patrick Dwyer. Kicked ahead by Ron Hainsey. Played by Justin Williams. His shot just goes wide. Now Regehr in neutral ice. Winding back for LA. His partner is Martinez. Chipped along by Stoll. Past Ward. Ward out to play it. He'll move it. Along the wall, Hainsey leaves it there for Jay McClement. And the Hurricanes efficiently get it out. It comes all the way back. Regier ahead of Zach Boychuk. A reverse for Martinez with 3:35 left in regulation time. Jarrett Stoll, Marian Gaborik. Through center ice, a give back by Williams. They're changing, and they had to be careful, Tripp. That was close.
Bellemore just said at the top of his lungs, too many. Too many. It was very, very close. So
Dustin Brown working Harrison. Cuts. Stutter step. Walks in. They get across, but a penalty will follow. Cam Ward said no on Kopitar. Carolina will go down a man. 3:07 left in regulation time. But Cam Ward has had a stellar weekend. There's more work to do. How about this dandy right here? Well, Jay Harrison did all he could to thwart the scoring chance. The LA Kings pouring it on here with chances, and Dustin Brown had the initial opportunity.
yeah, he got the stick between the legs of the LA captain. What a save. Cam initially had gone to his left, and that makes this lunging stop to his left so much better. Finds the post. If you're in a desperation mode, at least try to find the post first, and he did. That is just awesome.
The LA Kings are 1 for 2 tonight with their power play. Kopitar, Pearson inside. Carter to Foley. Ward losing control. Carter up top. Doughty with a shot kicked out with a purpose by Cam Ward. Now it's Kopitar. Along the boards, broken up. Dumped out of harm's way by Jay McClement with that much time left in the power play.
That puck hit Dwyer's stick, and Cam still made the save. That was an underrated stop.
Drew Doughty. They gain entry. Tanner Pearson throws on the brakes. Around the wall, Doughty awaits. He'll snap it ahead. Out of the corner to Foley. Moved along, broken up. Yuri Tlusty getting it from Ron Hainsey. He'll feed it to himself. Broken up by Tanner Pearson. Jeff Carter. Pearson again. Carter in the zone. Peppered by Nash. Also Tlusty. Now Kopitar. Pearson across. Skate to stick. Doughty. Kopitar. Working Nash inside for Doughty. Drew Doughty darts. Andrzej Kopitar settles it down. One-timer. Cam Ward will stop on Pearson. Now it's Carter. Defended by Justin Falk. Good play by Carter. Falk stays with it. Not out. Kopitar. Broken up. Out she goes. Yuri Tlusty. They change up the troops. 43 seconds left in the kill. Comes all the way back. $1:45 left in regulation. Here's Jake Muzzin. He'll feed it hard around. Bellemore for Carolina. Williams for LA. Bellemore. Now Williams. Martinez this way. It's Muzzin. Alec Martinez holding onto it. Justin Williams from the wall. Inside it goes for Mike Richards. To the outside of Bellemore. Holding onto it. 16 seconds on the power play. Blocker down by Cam Ward. Now it's Williams. Justin Williams out in front. Good stick by Ward. Williams again. 8 seconds on the power play. Muzzin. Williams holding. Shooting one. Caught by Cam Ward.
Well, Bill Peters clearly pushed the right button by coming back with Cam. Watch this hit Dwyer's stick. Awesome save. Boy, have his legs been quick. Just got it with the toe, and when you not only need a save, but also a whistle with Dustin Brown planted right in front of you, you locate it, watch it into your glove. Watch him look at this, right into the glove. Beautiful.
Off the draw, hammered by Doughty, blocked by Lindholm. Quick is halfway out. Elias Lindholm working the puck over the line. Under a minute left. Quick stays put. He has to. Muzzin coming all the way back. Even terms on the ice for now as Carolina comes up big again on the kill. 45 seconds left in regulation time. Doughty cuts it off. They work it across. It's Jake Muzzin. 40 seconds less left. Now Muzzin dumps it in. Quick to the bench. 6 skaters out for the defending champs. Doughty goes inside. It's broken up by Hainsey. It's loose. Great effort by Eric Stahl. Knocking it out to center. 25 seconds left. Cam Ward will settle it down for Ron Hainsey. Laying it along the wall. Cut off by Gaborik. 18 seconds left. Skinner gets it from Rask. Empty net, blocked by Doughty. Doughty in control. Back out to neutral ice. 9 seconds left. Volk, a steal, just wide. 5 seconds left. Doughty from the wall, gets it ahead. They'll count it out. The Carolina Hurricanes defeat the defending Stanley Cup champions 3-2.
Boy, John, from the goal on out, an all-hands-on-deck performance for the second time in as many nights. You had the youth of Lindholm, of Rask. I love what the leadership did late. I thought Eric Staal was immense defensively late in the hockey game. The penalty killing continues to be a real good story, despite giving up a power play. I mean, and the crowd just loved it down here. Two really fun games, and as we said throughout, John, an LA Kings team getting healthy, a Stanley Cup championship team not happy with the way they're playing, and the Hurricanes still found a way.
They found a way. Had to dig down late and get it done. What an effort tonight by the Hurricanes, defeating Los Angeles. With a win tonight, kids wearing Hurricanes gear eat free tomorrow at participating Golden Corral restaurants. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com/food specials for all the details and help yourself to happiness. Time for the 3 stars. Chris Terry with a power play goal is the number 3 star tonight. Outstanding work by Chris Terry throughout. And for the second consecutive game, Elias Lindholm, who had 2 goals last night, gets his 3rd tonight with a very important goal in the second period. And Cam Ward, back-to-back nights, the number 1 star. 30 saves in this one. And Cam Ward will skate across. And let's hear from tonight's number 1 star. Here he is with Tripp.
Thanks very much, John. Cam, boy, to play the way you did in back-to-back games. What did you like most about the team in front of you? Let's start with that.
I thought we were really pushing the pace. I thought we had a lot of legs and a lot of speed, and to be able to beat the defending Stanley Cup champions just goes to prove that we can win against any team in this league. And you know, kudos to the guys. They played awesome.
You told us before the season that, and you didn't want to offend anybody else, that Elias Lindholm has as good of a release as anybody. We saw it in the second period. What makes it so good at 19 years old?
Well, it's just his release. I mean, he has a little bit of a toe drag that changes the angle and makes it difficult to read. But not only him, I mean, everybody played extremely well. I thought that Rask was phenomenal tonight. He played with a lot of poise, and he played a lot of minutes.
You outplayed Jonathan Quick. It's been a heck of a week for you. Yes, you did. How about that, Caniacs? Cam, talk about your week with all the hard work you put in, how rewarding this is for you.
Well, it's real rewarding. You know, obviously we put on our skates trying to win hockey games. You know, and for it to finally pay off is a bonus, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Hey, thanks for this. Good luck in Columbus.
All right, thanks.
Back up to you, John.
Thank you, Tripp. And congratulations to Cam Ward. Outstanding again as the Canes get it done to a man, and that's what it takes in a situation like this, with the LA Kings hungry for their first road win. Winless on this road trip. And the Hurricanes, after winning their first last night, they raise the bar again and get it done here. We have total post-game coverage. Hurricanes Live, the post-game comes your way next. Final count tonight in regulation. The Carolina Hurricanes 3, the Los Angeles Kings 2, right here on Fox Sports Carolina.